Hello, I'm coming to you today to say screw you, gunbroker. In my job, I actually have a lot of time to sit and look at the internet, and gunbroker is one of those things, and that I look at frequently, and I love the A2 platform because. Well, when I enlisted in the Air Force put a gun in my hand a couple of times and said, shoot in that direction. And then when I enlisted in the Marine Corps said, we are issuing an M16A2. They're going to carry it for 13 weeks, and we're going to teach you how to use it. And they did. And I've had a love of the A2 ever since. It's a great platform. And I've had the PSA M4 or A4, excuse me, that I painted up all fancy, and it's basically an A2 but with a detachable carry handle. But you know, even though I have this and I like to shoot it, it's very accurate. It's fun to shoot, very soft shooting. I've wanted an A2. It's just not. It's close, but it's not quite there. And so I found me an A2. But it's not a regular A2. This is a Rock River Arms LAR8 in A2 configuration. Carry handle, A2 front sight post, fixed stock. It does have the Hogue rubber grip, which I'll be swapping out with a regular A2. But yeah, I saw this and I said, ooh. And the price was just under $1,000. It was $999. And I said, you know, I gotta have it. So I bought it and I picked it up and I got it home, I'm looking at it. This thing might have been fired one round at the factory as a test. Besides that, it's brand new. Absolutely brand new. I haven't even shot it yet because I picked it up yesterday. Today's the 4th of July, so happy birthday, America. So I'll be taking it out to shoot this week. I haven't shot it yet, but yeah, I like it. And I said I'm a big logistics guy now as I get older. I like 5.56. I like 7.62. I like 9mm. I don't want to buy a bunch of odd calibers because I just don't want to deal with that. I'm a logistics guy now. And this one, like, I never thought I'd buy an LAR8 because they take FAL magazines. This is a 5-rounder. This is a... Stay. See if I can get this up close to the camera so you can read it. This is an actual LAR8 from Rock River. FAL mags, it's supposed to take metric or inch. I have a 5-round LAR. I have a 10-round no name. And I bought a couple of these Pro Mag 20s. They're all plastic. So yeah, I was like, I don't want to buy another. If I'm buying another 7.62 AR-10 type in the future, it's going to be SR-25 pattern magazines because I already have a bunch. But I saw this thing and I just had to have it. So yeah, the only thing I'm going to change on it, like I said, I'm going to put a regular A2 and also the front sight post. Let's see if I can get it close here. I'm looking at the preview on the phone. It is not a standard A2 front sight post. So you can see, I don't know if you can see that, but it's milled. I mean, from steel, obviously, but it's milled. It's got a lot of sharp edges and everything. It's not a forging, and it says LAR8 on front. Has the Rock River Arms logo, the old one at least. And it's got the Picatinny rail. And it's the Marine Corps inside of me that says, you know, you got to have a bayonet lug. So I think I'm going to swap this out. It looks like it's the same size as a regular A2. I was worried about the height, but the height, it looks like it's going to be the same. Yeah. So I'm going to buy a regular A2 front sight post and throw that on there. And that'll be in the next couple of months. It won't be, because like I said, I'm going to go shoot it this week. But one thing I was surprised about, I thought that they stopped making things like this like 15 years ago. But the barrel, I took off the handguard. Oh yeah, you know what? Let me do that. So like I said, I don't think it's ever been fired. Everything's extremely tight. So I actually need the tool to take off the handguard. Come on, there we go. But the barrel, you won't be able to, I don't think the camera will be able to pick it up. Just under the gas tube there at the chamber says 3 of 22 and then O/K, so I guess it's okay. But yeah, this was made in 2022, so that's pretty cool. And you can see it's not a government profile barrel, but it's not a heavy barrel. There is a step up here to go for the gas journal. So yeah, it's actually pretty handy. I mean, it's heavier than an A4 or an A2, but it's not super heavy. I think it's going to be fun. So yeah, let me throw this back on there. Get on there. And I'll need the tool because this delta ring is very tight. Sweet. So yeah, if you're thinking about buying one of these because you want an A2, I mean, it's pretty badass. If you can find one. This is the only one I've actually seen in this configuration, and I didn't know that they made standard 20-inch barrel anymore. I thought they stopped a long time ago. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So the magazines, the FAL mag, so internally, like this thing's so tight I needed a freaking tool to break it open. That's actually a lot easier. I've done this 2 or 3 times now, so it's getting easier. So, I'll get the camera closer. Like it's a whole separate block in here. And what's happening is the follower tab is engaging. It's a roll pin in there that's being engaged, and just I don't know how well you can see that, but it's pushing up the plunger, and this plunger is what's catching the bolt. And then you can see the bolt catch and bolt release, they're down here. So you push it up to engage the bolt catch, push it down to release it. And I haven't fired it yet, but it's pretty easy to do on an empty mag. So well, let's go over the mags. So here's what I've noticed about the mags. The actual Rock River LAR, let me take off the upper. So, the LAR8 magazine, this is a 5-rounder, this one's a 10. So, try and get in closer. So you see the plunger. So as the follower engages that roll pin, it pushes up the plunger there. But anyway, so regular mag catch for the Rock River 5-rounder, you press the mag catch. Oh yeah, it is ambidextrous, which is nice. But for this one, like it does not drop free at all. You got to pull that thing out. Oh yeah. So the mag catch, when you push the button, there's a lever or it pulls that back, it retracts it. I don't know if you can see that. And that engages this cut on the back of the magazine. So yeah, the Rock River ones, it's extremely tight. Maybe it'll loosen up when I do it a bunch. The No Name 10 rounder goes in there easy and actually drops. So that's nice. The Thermal, or ProMag, not Thermal. I think Thermal makes them the Rock River branded ones. But this one does not drop free, but also you could pull it out pretty easy. And that'll break in a little bit, I'm sure. I'm sure the finish inside the magwell is made a little bit tight. But yeah, this LAR 5 rounder, like, you gotta slap it up in there, and then you have to yank it out. Oh, even that's now slightly easier than it was. Yeah, you can see the finish starting to, see if I can get some, there we go, some glare. The finish is starting to wear a little bit. So yeah, for the difference between the inch and the metric is how they engage up here. So the metric have a little tab that's the metal bent up a little bit, and the inch ones have a lug. So I imagine there's enough room in here because you're not doing the rock and lock. So you could see this channel up here. Yeah, I could definitely, I don't know, that's, where is it? There we go. See the channel through there? Down here. There's definitely enough room. I think the inch pattern would do just fine. But yeah, looking at this thing, I don't think it's at, like, I mean, look at the buffer back there, the surface. I don't think it's ever been shot. Maybe one at the factory for test. There's the bolt face. Maybe one at the factory for test. But yeah. The LAR pattern is different from all other A10s and SR25 pattern. So it's a different barrel nut, different everything. None of these parts are interchangeable. So I shouldn't have bought this because I'm a logistics guy and I like having things all the same. But I did, and I think I'm going to enjoy it. One thing I will note, the A2 sight back here, let me see if I can get it. On the A4 and the A2, you got your numbers, and then there's a tiny Z. Where is it? There's a tiny Z in there. So you go to 300/800 on the A2, 300, 600 for the A4, and you go 1 or 2 clicks back to the 0, and that's for your 25-yard or 25-meter BZO. This does not have that. Right now, the 300 is bottomed out, and there is another tiny number there, but that's 8. So there's 3, there's 4, 5, and then there's another tiny number. There's 6, there's another tiny number, there's 7, and then that tiny number is 8. I'm not doing a very good job keeping this in frame. Then the next tiny number, that's a 9, and the next tiny number, that's 10. So these irons go out to 1,000 meters, which is all good and well. I'm going to email Rock River and see what the BZO distance is for this, because it's just 300, and I don't know if you do like a standard Army target, 25 meters, and then that's good for 25, 300. I don't think it is for 7.62. And I can't find any information online, so I'm just going to email Rock River and ask. But yeah, A2. Standard A2 type flash hider. It's got a, you won't be able to see it. There's a drawing number on the inside of here, RRA 0000181. That might be a serial number? No, it's probably a drawing number. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to show this thing off because it was a stupid purchase. Not that it was a stupid purchase, it was a stupid purchase, and now that I have to go buy different magazines. But I already had plenty of 7.62 on hand. It's not good ammo, it's this ammo incorporated range pack 308. That was the place I'll buy ammo from. They were getting rid of all their stock. So I was able to get this at 55 cents a round. So I have a lot. And it's fun shooting it through the M1, but the M1, it's got a bit of recoil. Like, I don't want to shoot 200 rounds in a day. It's just not, it's not as fun as shooting the A4, you know? But this should be a slightly less recoil. And I have the ammo, and nothing fancy, second kind of cool. This is just second kind of cool. It's just something I wanted. I will never use this for any practical purpose, except maybe if I do known distance range competition at some point, this would be fun to bring out. Yeah, the boss is raised a little bit. Yeah. Anyway, that's it for today. I haven't put a video up of shooting in a while. I didn't go shooting last month. I'm gonna go this week. I'm gonna take this out. I'm gonna take the AR9, the silenced. I'm up to 4,000 rounds. I want to get up to 45. Yeah, because I take 500 rounds out when I go shoot for it. And just so anyway, that's that. Maybe I have an Atris super selector. Maybe I throw that in here and see if it works. Ooh, maybe I throw that in here and see if it works. God, wouldn't that be knuckin' futz if that thing worked in here? It doesn't work in the SR25 pattern, but that would be knuckin' futz if it worked in here. And I had a functional battle rifle. Oh my God. Oh my God. I got them gears working in my head now. Anyway, that's all. Okay, so I just filmed a video about the LAR8 rifle. And now we're going to have to talk about some of the magazines that I have here and some ammo. So, the standard FAL type magazines, when you put in ammo, right, you got to push it. It's not like super easy. It's not like, you know, hand loading an AR mag, but it's also not difficult, but it's definitely not an anti-tilt system. So you see the nose is coming up there every time. Ah. So when you're putting them in, make sure and push them in the middle, and then you shouldn't have that problem. Oh yeah, and this is the LAR8 magazine. I just took it apart. So you can see it's the same length as the 10 rounder. And what's making this a 5 rounder is on the follower, there is just a tab of sheet metal that sticks down that limits you to 5 rounds. So if I wanted a second 10 rounder, I could just take off that tab and there you go. But I will keep this, you know, maybe one day I will do some hunting with this rifle. Not bloody likely, but this will stay a 5 rounder. So there's 5 in there. Same thing on this one, you got to push in the middle. 1, 2, 3. I find it better to load facing this way with the bullets toward my right, or with the projectiles. Because like not only am I pushing down, I'm also pushing a little bit aft. 6, 7, 8, 10. All right, here's what I wanted to point about both of these magazines. And I wanted to fill them up all the way. So if I wanted to empty these magazines, let's see if I can see the back of the screen here and make sure this is in shot. So look at the tip of the projectile when I push. It gets caught up right there. Every time, feeding from left, feeding from right, this magazine and this one. So if I want to take that round out, I have to push on the tip this way and do that to get it out. And that's just the way these mags are. Both of them. See the same thing. Ah! Now, and of course in the rifle, at this point, it'll be hitting the feed ramp, and that's pushing it up. So I'm sure in the rifle, it's just fine. Get out of here. But the Pro Mag loads very easy. Ah. There's a point to this. Pay attention. I'll get there. I want to fill up the mag completely. So I have full tension on the spring, and I'll show you what I want to show you. That's 20, right? Yeah, that's 20. Okay, so let me see the back of the screen, the GoPro here. So these mags, when I go to unload them, so very, very easy. So I like that. I hope these Pro Mags work well. If they do, I will be stocking up on these. I mean, they're not going to last as long as a steel mag, but I'm not going to shoot this thing all that much. I'm trying to concentrate on, well, I'm trying to get through these 10,000 rounds for the test for the silenced AR9. And then I really need to concentrate on 5.56, like 7.62, great caliber and all, but for a practical, like I made a joke earlier, it'd be cool if the Atrius works and I had a functional battle rifle. Like a battle rifle concept is dumb today. The 5.56 is definitely the superior cartridge for almost every task, except for hunting, and second's kind of cool. I just want to go out and shoot this. So I really need to concentrate on 5.56, so I'm not going to shoot this all that much. The 5,000 rounds of 7.62 I plan on lasting me 5 years, at least. Probably a lot longer. So, if I get... if these mags last a couple of years, then great. Then they're just fine. They fulfill their purpose. And they're cheap. They're like 25 bucks. So I hope they work well, because they load and unload very well as opposed to these things. I mean, finding FAL mag, when they designed the LAR8, the reason they went with the FAL mags is because when they were designing this, the assault weapons ban was still in effect. So there were plenty of FAL mags at the time, so use an FAL mag, and they were cheap. Not so much today. Nobody's really making or importing these until, like in the last year or two, a company started doing FAL mags again, steel ones, and they're like 40 bucks. So I could try some of those, but if these work, and the magazine itself is a lot lighter, so I'm not worried about a double mag pouch. Like these will fit great in a double mag. Two of them will fit great because they're flush all the way down. These are flared out just like a, like a P mag. It makes them easier to grab, but the pouch I'm using, it's probably going to be one magazine per pouch, so it's not a big deal. Anyway, that's it. I just wanted to include that about the magazines.